But let's talk about that INEOS team, Benji. Carapaz, who's supposed to be leaving, Luke Plapp, who is sort of a late addition, Ben Turner, also a late addition, the clock, Ethan Hayter, Sivakov, Gagan Hart, Carlos Rodriguez, Dylan Van Baal. Who is the INEOS leader? Like, I know it's Carapaz in theory. He's got all the Palmares, although Gagan Hart won the Giro. But who is the INEOS leader? They have like 4 options to me. But before we get into that, mention our show partner, Zwift. Zwift Academy is back for 2022. Registration is open now. Whether you're aiming for a pro contract like Jay Vine or Neve Bradbury, or are just looking to kickstart your fitness with some structured sessions, Zwift Academy will help you get fitter and have more fun on the bike. There are 6 workouts to complete, either solo or in group workouts with baseline rides to compare your progress. That's Zwift Academy. In all seriousness, check it out.
Yeah, they certainly have like 75 cooks in the kitchen in this team. And if we analyze the squad, there's a few obvious riders that are domestiques to me. Ben Turner's a domestique in this race. Van Baal is a domestique in this race. Hayter's going to be an uphill sprint man, even though he has the ability of doing well at the time trial, and these like Puerto-like finishes might actually allow him to win an uphill finish at some point. But GC-wise, I don't believe in Ethan Hayter for this Vuelta personally. Then we start looking at the other riders that you mentioned, the 5 potential leaders in this squad. Gagan Hart has won the Giro, but based on his results since then, I don't consider him a GC candidate for this race. Am I going to regret that, Hindley-wise? Like, I didn't consider Hindley a GC favorite for the Giro when he ended up winning the Giro. So there's always that possibility that Gagan Hart does the same in this Vuelta and makes me look stupid. But I don't believe it. I think Gagan Hart should be all-out domestique in this race. And then there's 4 options left. Luke Plapp, Carlos Rodriguez, Sivakov, and Carapaz. Carapaz is a proven Grand Tour winner, but this year he wasn't able to do it at the Giro. Does that make it that he's got no chance of doing GC here? I think if he's in good form, Carapaz is a podium rider for this race. Like, that's my opinion on it. But there's also the aspect of Sivakov doing well at Burgos. Rodriguez doing well in a lot of races this year. Burgos as well, where he was the second best rider on the team. Perhaps the strongest rider on Laguna Zanaya, but he worked for Sivakov the entire way through. I'd love to see Rodriguez get a GC leader role here. And then there's Plapp, and I agree with you that Plapp deserves more than just being a domestique. He's shown GC potential in multiple aspects of this season, but I fear that we've seen multiple times that Plapp has been used as a lead out for Ethan Hayter, and I'm expecting that to be the case on the stages that Ethan Hayter will go for. And while, I just don't like that, but I guess it's going to happen.
He's the wild card because the weather is also important here. Do I think young Australian Luke Plapp loves the European cold and wet, messy conditions compared to hot conditions? Probably not. I think Plapp's really good in the heat. Won the Australian National Champs. He always does well in January down in Buninyong. UAE Tour, his first like proper professional race. He morally top 10 GC.
Yep.
He came 5th on her feet and he had to do the TT on a road bike. So he came 12th even with the TT on the road bike. He's good in the heat. Catalunya, he seemed to struggle a little bit for a lot of the stages until the stage 6 he launched Carapaz and the Gita move. Norway was cool conditions but not raining. He was really, really good there, good watts. The question for me is, and we don't know, INEOS don't know, you never know, is, okay, he's done really well on one and done efforts. Catalunya stage 6, her feet has no kilojoules before. Norway, it was quite hard, that race. It wasn't a soft race, but it wasn't 5 hours really hard before that climb Remco destroyed, and Plapp did good watts too. So the question is, can he actually deep into stage 18 where there's, more, the back end of this Vuelta are pretty soft. Like, that's the thing. How will he fare in the third week of Vuelta? Who knows? It's his first Grand Tour, but I'm hopeful. He's smart. Like, these young guys sometimes know more about nutrition than some 35-year-old riders. So I'm hoping he does really well. Obviously, I'm super biased. Like, my ideal podium is, I think, Vine, Plapp, Evenepoel. I mean, we might see it. But I still, if a guy does those watts, if a guy drops the whole peloton in Catalonia on the first climb of the day, there's something there. And with the gradients of this Vuelta, I also think Benji, INEOS, Carapaz never won a Grand Tour on INEOS.
Yeah, but he would have if they sent one more domestique to the Vuelta of 2020.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Didn't win. So I don't think they can afford to just do a 1 liter. They did that in the Giro against Hindley and got slapped on Fedaya. Thanks for coming. And Carapaz going head to head didn't work. And so I think they have to use multiple leader strategy. If I was INEOS, no, I'm talking all of them, Benji. I'm talking all of them. I would do a really unusual strategy and use the first week, which I think offers a lot more than some of the later stages, and be super aggressive. Teams rarely do this. They only start to get desperate late, and then the stage 20 stuff happens. I would, if I was INEOS, try and create chaos early and put Kuss and Roglic under pressure and put Hindley under pressure, because Hindley week 1 in Giro 2020 and Giro this year, week 1 not as good as later weeks. So I would try and use all of them and attack on early climbs and just create chaos.
If you make the race hard early, are you indirectly making hill stages where you go early the perfect situation for Remco Evenepoel to try and use and benefit from an early attack by someone else to then drop them later? No?
Remco bring Peter Seri, Julian Alaphilippe, Remy Cavagna, Dries Stevenijns, Evenepoel, Masnada, Van Wilder, Vervaeke. It's quite a strong team. Quick Step, when they have a plan, when they're like, this parkour was great for Remco, we're going to launch him here, a la San Sebastian, lovely, works great. Liège, plan, Redoute, everyone knew it was going to happen. Great. Tour de Suisse, remember the stage he just got randomly dropped on the hilly stage where Israel launched Fuglsang? And afterwards they were like, yeah, we didn't think it'd be a GC day today. And then we kind of got surprised. I was like, are you serious? And so I don't know. I'm not sure. And in Basque Country, there was a bit of chaos as well. I do think, Benji, you want to isolate Remco and kind of attack him one by one. So I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing making the race hard. I think that's better than just letting Quickstep dictate it and trying to do their thing with Remco. Because I don't trust his team necessarily to always be there, and they're not experienced in riding for GC and controlling different attacks.